Welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life by mastering the law of attraction. So cool. My name is Talia, and I'm committed to cutting the fluff and showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to crack the code on manifestation, amplify your intuition, and play in the quantum, we are now besties. Let's do this. Today we're talking about money because I know there's nothing worse than feeling the stress, the lack, the pressure of money, feeling like you can't be free and invest in what you want to. Maybe sometimes there's, the inability to pay for basic needs or anything extra. There's the constant worry, there's the guilt, there's the strain. I understand this well. And today we are talking about how to manifest more money, how to get your head in the game, how to get unblocked so that you can really start living with that freedom, the ability to invest in yourself or travel or pay off debt, pay off credit cards, to be able to buy all your organic veggies and have experiences and not have to worry all the time about money. I am so excited to dive into this. And before we do, welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so excited you're here. How's it going? If you are new here, hello, hi. My name is Talia Joy. I am the host of this show, your go-to spiritual guide and manifestation mentor. And I'm basically obsessed with helping you transform your life and manifest a future of overflowing freedom and abundance, as we're talking about today. Also purpose, joy, health, and really just thriving in your life. So I've been studying the law of attraction for over 2 decades, and I've been obsessed with quote unquote cracking the code since I was in a rock bottom myself over a decade ago. And I've gone on to heal an eating disorder, addiction to numbing, low self-esteem, anxiety, depression, all of that stuff, and really come into a thriving life. So this is what we talk about here on the show: self-growth, awakening, and manifestation. Today, our episode is about money, as we're talking about, and abundance and the key shifts that you need. But before we dive into that, I wanted to let you know that I also have a second podcast. It is called On the Path, and it is a subscription podcast community where I really focus on delivering you the work. So that podcast is all about how to do the work, broken down into individual practices, step-by-step guidance. You also have access to my entire methodology, including meditations and trainings and everything you need to transform and manifest the things that you've been desiring. So on that podcast, we have weekly assignments, deep dive episodes, meditations, monthly challenges, and our upcoming monthly challenge is actually about magnetism and momentum. And we do these challenges at the beginning of every month to really get your energy on fire and create momentum in your life. So if you want to check that out, you can. As I said, it's a subscription private podcast, but you can come, and if it's not for you, you can go at any time. But I welcome you into the community and really look forward to helping you do the work. Okay, with that out of the way, the other thing that I wanted to say is I have a brand new mini course available called Money Mindset Mastery Mini Course. We're doing the M thing there. And for you guys just right now, and because it's just come out, I am offering it to you for $37. If you want to grab it below, that's not going to be available for long at that price. But for now, it is. So if you want to dive into a money course where we go step by step, I invite you in. The link is below. Okay, so when I decided to do this episode about money, I decided to do this because, quite frankly, I get a lot of questions. Of course, when I ask clients, community, what do you want? What are you manifesting? Usually money, abundance, wealth comes up, right? We want financial stability, security, no matter where you're at, whether you feel like you're already super safe and secure and you're looking for more, or maybe you're in that lack, scarcity, up and down type of financial situation. Either way, this episode is definitely going to help you because it's the same across the board. And that's the truth with a lot of this manifestation and self-growth work. As you get to a new level, you double down and refine your practices. You become more maybe focused or fine-tuned, but the principles remain the same. So You could take something like the present moment. And if you're a beginner to self growth or spirituality or anything, you hear the present moment and it just starts to, reduce anxiety. It starts to have you able to like calm down and, it helps you a bit. And as you go on, you practice, you could literally study the present moment for the rest of your life, just like Eckhart Tolle does. And I definitely, it's one of those things I continually come back to, and the meaning deepens and deepens. So when it comes to money manifestation, what I'm going to share with you today is the goods. Like, this is the truth. No matter if you're working on your second or third million, or you're trying to get out of debt and become more financially stable, same principles. So welcome. I'm really excited to dive into this. Quickly, I want to say, just to be very transparent and very vulnerable, money has been one of the hardest ones for me because I grew up in lack and scarcity. So you may relate to this, where your upbringing was one of not having a lot of money. I remember we were on welfare for a little bit. My mom was a single parent for a lot of it. And it was just really, we lived out in the country. She grew food, canned food. We went to the thrift store at Christmas one year. We got the Christmas one of the community food baskets. I knew we were quote unquote poor, but I didn't really know what that meant because my mom just did end up, keeping food on the table and lots of soups and lots of oatmeal and crock pots and all of that. And there was some pretty scarce times, as well as my mom has her own beliefs. And so, some of that gets transferred from our parents and their beliefs and their habits around money. So as I grew up, that was my first impression of money. And I remember her saying money is hard. And that really imprinted into my mind. So this isn't to blame our parents, because if you're a parent or someone who's a parent, you realize very quickly we are imperfect humans. So it's not to blame them or excuse them. It's just to know that these are the facts. If you got a puppy and you yelled at it all the time or treated it a certain way, it's going to impact the way that it acts when it's older. Or if you're loving or nurturing, or there's kids pulling on its ears or whatever, it's going to impact the way it grows up. The environment impacts the way we grow up. That's just a fact. So when we're looking at our money habits, it's a good thing to ask yourself, if you've never asked yourself, in comparison to your parents, how is your money situation, habits, mentality? So for some of you, your mentality might be completely different than your parents, or you may find you're in some of the same patterns. Either way, it's just good to note. We'll go through some of this, and this may come up again in this episode, but we are impacted. So even though I wanted a different money story, money is hard. Money is hard. That kept being the narrative. That kept being my lived experience. It felt hard. So we all have areas where we struggle. So if money's been a little bit hard, or you're stuck at a plateau, this is going to be an episode that really helps you, because I have changed my money energy, my money situation dramatically in especially the last couple of years. The last year, I've been practicing more of the rapid embodiment technique, as I've started talking about. That's hugely changed my energy and my situation with money. So I've got a lot of gold to share from my personal experience, and also getting results in that area with clients too. So we're going to talk about the main shifts and the main mindset shifts for abundance. As I've mentioned lately, your mind is the gatekeeper of your experience. Your mind is a small part of who you truly are. When we're talking about your soul and your purpose and your past lives, the mind is a very tiny part of who you are. But it is the filter to this entire 3D experience. So for now, you're human, right? You're also spirit, but you are having a human experience. And that part of the reality that you're having a human experience is within that part of your experience, a huge part of what makes up how that goes is your head. Your mind is truly what makes up your physical reality. What you perceive is what you receive. So money in the end, yes, there's small elements of course, action, skills, offering value. Offering value is a big part, even if it's not like a service. We'll get to that. There are those physical aspects, but so much of it is in the mind. Because the thing is, you guys, when your mind is in a miracle mindset, when your mind is open, you attract possibilities and opportunities. So it's not all about hustling and getting your crafts in the farmer's market, or posting more on Facebook, or it's not all about that to get your business out. I found this. I shift my internal world and I have random days on the podcast where the stats are up like 500%. Like Apple just shoved the show out to a whole bunch of people. Or my reels recently in the last couple months have blown up. My reels always had like a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand views. Now I have some that are 750,000 views, like 67K, 250K, 400K. And I'm going like, what? The one with the most, I think, is like 780,000 views or something, like out of nowhere. But that's because it came from inside me. So we'll talk about the action piece, but I just want to drill home how important your mind and your energy is. And your energy is really determined by your mind. Your state of being is going to be determined by what your thoughts are doing. So your thoughts directly lead into your emotions. They create your emotions. If your thoughts are like, I'm freaking awesome, your emotions are like, I'm freaking awesome. And your whole vibe is, I'm freaking awesome, right? And if our mind goes to the dark places, our emotions start getting restricted or heavy, or it's guilt, or it's, fear. And then it impacts our actions. So our thoughts directly create our emotions, and from our emotions, we act. We choose or don't choose to do certain things. And this is why the mind and the emotions and all of that is so important. You can realize you're a soul all day long. You can know what planet your soul originated from or your recent past life. But if you can't master this human experience, which involves the mind, we're not able to manifest. And that's just the truth. And that's why I'm here, to bridge the gap between the physical and the everything massive. But today we're talking physical, we're talking mindset. Okay, so the first thing I want you to realize in this is that money is an energy and is a vibration. And when we think of law of attraction, we can't overlook the laws of the universe, such as the law of attraction, which means that what you are putting out, the vibration you're putting out, you get it. The vibe you put out is the one you will attract. So if we are putting out low vibes, we cannot, according to physics, cannot manifest high vibe situations in any kind of big amount, any kind of consistent amount. What you experience in your life is directly going to correlate with how you're feeling and the energy that you're putting out. This is physics. It's not just woo-woo. It's not like just good vibes, like in general. It's because that's what you attract. So money is a high vibration frequency. Money is desired by us. Money is something that helps us. It gives us opportunity and freedom. It's of high value in the world, meaning just, we can trade stuff for it. We can get a nice home. We value it. It's a higher vibration frequency. So when we are in lack and shame and guilt and fear and uncertainty and confusion and resentment, we are just not on the same frequency. We can't manifest resolution and clarity and inspired ideas and success and clients and random days where your podcast explodes. That is just not in the same playing field. You're not even on the right arena or in the right arena, which is okay. And this has been the truth for me. I've had to really look at these things and get really freaking honest. So a tool I like to do if you're in this place going oh yeah, if I came around, I want you to imagine if I followed you around, it'd be kind of annoying, slightly weird. If I followed you around all day and every 5 minutes I was like, how do you feel 1 to 10? And you start off, you're like, 7, wait till I get my coffee, then I'll be an 8. And then how do you feel? How do you feel? And something happened, you're going, I don't know, 6, I don't know, 5. I'm not feeling well. This is frustrating. My boss, the pressure, money, 3, 2, okay. Then, I got some yoga in. Now I'm a 4, now I'm a 5. And all day I follow you around and you're kind of hovering between a 3 and an 8 or whatever it is in your day. At the end of the day, if I added that all up and divided it by how many times I asked you, we would have an average. That is your vibe. That's what you're attracting. So if you're averagely hanging out at a 6, you're going to attract things that are a 6, which is a pretty good life. You'll have pretty good people, pretty good experiences, make 6 out of 10 money. That's not bad. You're surviving. But are you thriving? Are you in overflowing abundance? So we don't bypass to just go like high vibes only, but it's important right now. We're talking about mindset shifts, way to think of money differently. It's important to look at it as an energy. So even the ideas that connect you to the money, the like, oh, I should put my art on Etsy, or oh my goodness, that friend I know that knows how to do this, we should collab. Oh, I could sell this. Oh, that person, those ideas that lead to the money, those are hanging out up there as well. So this episode is more about the mindset shifts, but just a quick to do is just to be mindful of your vibration and give yourself the gift of doing things daily that make you feel good. Whether it's dancing around to one song that makes you feel like a badass, going for a walk, getting good rest, having a long bath, chatting with a friend that makes you just feel like your heart's full, gardening, whatever you need to do, give that to yourself as part of your self-care to raise your vibration. Watch the media you're taking in, even the shows you're watching. Do they make you feel low vibration? Like too much crime or too much, and that's coming from a true crime junkie over here. I know, unexpected, hey? But like, what are you watching? What are you taking in? How, too much news, is that really, dampening your vibe? So really be mindful of your vibration. The next oh, nobody caught that. The next mindset shift, whoa, damn, I have to be careful. Not like I've ever sworn on this show. Okay. Mindset shift is to find your core blocks. So I was going to say for this point, you have to shift your mind, but that is what we're talking about. But I want to zero in on this. We cannot manifest from the same thinking that got you to where you are now. And this is the same with everything. The same mind that got you here is not the same mind to get you there. The same mind that created any problems or has the struggle is not the same level of consciousness that can get you to a higher vibrating place. So I know that if I was in front of you, you could say like, but Talia, like I am in debt, or but Talia, my boss can't give me a raise, or but Talia, I do have this sort of situation. And we honor that. I never go like, that's not real. Ignore the real truth. That's not what spirit does. That's not what I do. It's real. You do have debt, or you do have this burden, or you do have pressure, or you do have goals. That is real. However, what got you here is not going to get you there. So we have to start changing our mind about money. The day came where I had to change my mind. Money is hard. I was like, that's not frickin' serving me anymore. Because I've been able to make some money and get a little bit more financially stable, but I always feel like it's hard. Do I really want that? No. So I've really gone into deeply shifting. Money is hard. That just is not the vibe anymore. So I'm looking at, for myself with that, when are times that money has been easy? When are times that money came to me overnight or unexpected? Anytime. Even if somebody gave me a gift or paid me back, or there was a rebate from the government, or something came, I found a dime that was unexpected. Does it actually always have to be hard? We have to change our mind about money. So this is why we need to find our core blocks, because these are the beliefs deep down that are controlling the subconscious. This is the first module in the money mini course, the one that's only $37. You can check it out below. We identify the core blocks. I take you through exactly how to do that and how to release them, dismantle them, work with them, flip them around so they're no longer blocking you. But this is so important. So we want to look here at our reoccurring patterns, our reoccurring struggles, the things we say. If I just give you the floor to, for lack of better words, bitch and complain about money, like we have those moments where we're allowed to be like, meh, what would you say, right? I used to say like, money's hard. And that just was what I would whine into the night, because I didn't actually sit around whining. That's not what I'm saying. It's the real belief deep down. So we try on the surface to be like, no, money's an ever flowing, it's fine. But deep down, those patterns, they elicit like this frustration. And in the like dark of the night, when you are going like, fuck, right? That's where we start to look for like what's really going on in there. So if you want to go through that in the money course, I am happy to take you through it. So we have to start noticing this. So look at your looping patterns, look at those really frustrating moments, and we have to start to dismantle them. You have to change your mind about money. It just can't come any other way. So we can't avoid that work, going a little bit deeper or looking at it again, because this is the key to the freedom. Okay, for the next mindset shift, I'm going to be very careful now. I want you to really start to get into, really start to see money as unlimited. So although, again, it's real, quote unquote, that it's felt scarce, or it's felt like there's not enough right now, or that you're not able to meet your goals, that's totally fine. We honor that. But I want you to start to see money as unlimited, meaning it's everywhere. Like if you look around, people around you have Teslas and fancy cars and, expensive homes. And there's people with fancy, handbags, people investing $10,000 in a mentor. There are, expensive business, real estate locations for sale that are millions of dollars. There's a lot of abundance in the world, right? Like people have boats, people have motorbikes, people have, whatever, all this stuff, generational wealth, companies, it exists out there. And when you're looking at your bank screen on an app, it's just numbers. So I want you to start to see it as like, well, like I used to play this game, and I do it once in a while now, but it really helped in this process of changing the money mentality, where I'll be like, what would be the difference? There's just an extra 1 in front of that, or just an extra 0. So when I look at my bank account, whatever it has in it, I like add a 0 or I add a 1 in front, or just something for fun. Like really, what would be the difference? And I've said this before in teachings and trainings, when I see really fancy cars and I walk by them on the sidewalk, I have this mindset of like, it's right there. Like, what's the difference between it just being mine? And I don't mean go steal a car. I mean, energetically, it's right there. It's right there. So it exists. So it's available. So trying to see money as unlimited, because it's always being printed, but I don't even know, because it's not even really being printed as much anymore. There's always more money being created somehow. There are bajillions of dollars going around in the world, in the stock market. Okay, I know bajillion I don't think is official, but we're going with it. It's really, truly unlimited. So some people have so much money, you can't even comprehend it. And I see people all the time, even just online and other entrepreneurs being like, I made $100,000 yesterday. And I'm like, whoa, it is truly unlimited. So we want to start looking at it like that. And this energetic game is you connecting to the possibilities, you connecting to a way where you can tap into that ever-flowing stream of abundance, because it is everywhere. What's the difference between you or them? What's the difference between you being able to manifest a home within a year that's, $3 bajillion and someone else, and you hearing someone else's success story that turned it all around? I've had so many people on this podcast, and I've heard so many people's stories where they literally went from so much debt, single parents or whatever the story, where they were behind and it was a struggle, into, helping women and hosting retreats and making millions of dollars. Like, it is possible. And it doesn't matter about if you want to create your own business or not. It's not even what it's about. There are ways. There are always ways for abundance to find you. There are always ways that abundance will find you when your energy is right, when your mindset is right. So just start to see money as unlimited instead of it being so limited, because what you perceive is what you receive. Okay, so the next thing I want you to focus on as well in this shift is shifting and looking at your physical habits. So I put this under mindset shifts because I want you to start to really realize that how you interact with money creates the relationship. I dive deep in the money course about this, where, if you are avoiding money, if you're hating money, if you're talking negative to money, if you're calling it the root of all evil, it can't hang around for very long. Your vibe is mismatched. If you are in a relationship with someone and you're like, you're disgusting, you're the root of all evil, or you avoid them, or, they go to leave and you're like, are you ever going to come back? Oh my God, you're going to be gone forever. Like, you would helicopter the life out of that relationship. And that's what we do with money. We obsess, we scrutinize, we hoard, we hold, we covet, we splurge, whatever it is. We're not being mindful with money. So this isn't about having to cut back. This isn't about telling you have to do anything, but watching your relationship to money, valuing it, honoring it, being grateful for it. And this bleeds into your physical habits, trying to pay your bills on time. Things like I would, avoid paying my bills, even though the money was in my account, because it was to do with my relationship with money, of being avoidant. And I would push it and push it and push it. Then I'm like, oh no, like mortgage comes out tomorrow, let's transfer, blah, blah, blah. Or like the bill's now past due and I have to pay interest. I'm like, well, whatever. But I just would delay things. And I can catch myself even now doing that, like waiting to the last minute to pay something. And I do continue to go to work on those physical habits. So I like to light a candle when I pay my bills, or come intentionally to the moment when I'm paying my assistant, when I'm paying my phone bill, when I'm paying my internet bill or business expenses. I think of what I'm actually getting for that. And with my assistant, I'm getting a human to help me live out my legacy. Oh my goodness, I'm so grateful. When I'm paying for some course platform, I'm like, this allows people to access my work and access these, beautiful courses. I'm so grateful. And I try to look at it like that. So there's endless examples, again, more in the mini course if you want to join that, but you got to start looking at your physical habits with money. It has to change. The next part I want you to think about with money and as a mindset shift is when you are generous with money, this doesn't mean giving beyond your means. Don't give and then you can't afford food for yourself, but just assuming that you understand that you're self-responsible and you're not, in that type of situation. Being generous allows money to flow. So again, in the money course, I actually talk about the purpose of money and how we need to allow it to fulfill its purpose. But part of its purpose is flowing and supporting us, and it wants to circulate. So this, again, isn't about not having savings, nothing extreme like that. Have your savings, but it also wants to circulate. And when we hoard it, when we pinch it off, we get really pinchy and we actually are acting in lack. So tipping somebody generously, or being just like, sure, I'll lend you this money, or buying someone's order at Starbucks, or just looking for opportunities where you can be generous, because that starts a new relationship with money. What you put out is what you attract. So when you're being generous, then the universe is more generous with you. People are more generous with you. You attract more generosity and generous energy. So maybe if you can't do much, look for one cause that means a lot to you, or go to the farmer's market to buy your bread because you're supporting someone directly instead of the big grocery store, or little ways you can tip and be generous to the people around you, even if it's not huge amounts of money, but really just looking on how you can be generous with your money, because that is so much of the energy you're putting out. And that's a shift we need to make. When I'm generous, the universe is generous with me. Okay, so the next mindset shift, and then we're almost done. The next mindset shift, oh my gosh, is being aware, and you may have heard this quote before, but being aware that you are the sum of the people you hang around with. And when it comes to money, I want you to feel me here and really take inventory on your life. You are the sum of the people you hang around with, not just your income, but how much you're able to attract, how much will come into your life. And so the important thing to think about is mentally and physically, who are in your circles? Who are you talking to? Who are you interacting with? Even the podcasts you listen to, even the people you follow on Instagram, your friends, your family. You will be the sum of your life. The people you hang around with, the people around you. They do actually say that you make an average in income of the 7 people you hang around with, which is even more specific and kind of trippy. But this is where we need to surround ourselves with people who have either mastered this shit, believe in unlimited possibilities. Maybe it's people helping you to create passive income or work on your money mindset, or friends around you that are entrepreneurs or who are freaking going for it. We can't hang around with all people who have, for lack of a better word, shitty energy and mentality when it comes to money and expect to be different. If everyone in your actual physical life, your family and your friends, if everybody is struggling financially and more importantly, having a really crunchy negative attitude around money, you're going to get sucked in. Their lack preys on your lack. Their devil preys on your devil. So it's hard to stay high vibe, especially if you are trying to get out of either debt or, hovering around zero and you're trying to really break through to your next level, or even if you're trying to break into the $1 million, realm. Hang out with other millionaires. Hang out with people who have done it. And this, again, could be your social media, the podcast, the books you read. That can fuel your mind enough to totally change your money story, even if someone in your life doesn't have their money story, like magnetic. You can still do that on your own, but you have to be really diligent about what you allow into your mind. So you are the circle you hang out with mentally, physically, digitally. That will influence your money mentality. So I recommend even right now doing a social media detox. Anyone that makes you feel like shit about money, even if they're super successful and it really triggers you, maybe just take a break while you work through your money blocks and your money energy, because that can backfire too sometimes when they're making it look so easy and so glamorous, and then we start feeling bad about ourselves. For now, even take a break from them and just focus on people that make you feel good, information that is helpful, people that believe in turning your life around and transformation and, achieving your goals and manifesting millions and your desires or whatever it is for you that you want. That's really important. And the last point that I want to talk about with the mindset shifts for abundance is gratitude. And I've touched on this a little bit in the other points, but one mindset shift you can start to do is just focus on being grateful for the money that comes through your life in a day-to-day way. So when you go to the grocery store, when you fill up with gas, when you receive a payment from a client, or you get your paycheck, or someone pays you back, gives you a 20 you lent them, whatever it is, whether you're buying something like groceries or paying your bills or investing in yourself, whether you're buying something or you're receiving something unexpected, something totally normal like a paycheck, just take a moment to be grateful that that money is flowing through your life. Even if it's going out, as I mentioned, notice when you pay your phone bill, look at what you're getting for that phone bill. Look at what you're getting: a whole month of internet, of camera, of social media, of your, banking on your app. And it's everything, right? Your phone is everything. It helped you with maps, and it had you check your email, and you were getting paid while you were working. And, your phone gave you so much. So even though it can feel like a bummer to pay bills, starting to be grateful that, like, I can afford this, your heat, your electricity, your mortgage, these things really give you something. So be aware of that. Even though gas may be expensive, be grateful that you could put $50 in your tank, or that you have a car, because at the end of the day, you're choosing to have that car. You might as well be grateful for it. Or maybe you don't have a car and it's a different expense, right? You get it. So really practicing gratitude on how, like, all the money that's coming and going. Whether you're transferring accounts, you're paying bills, it's coming in, it's going out, be present to its function. Be present to its intention. It's paying your bill. It's keeping your electricity hooked up. It's putting food on the table. It's hiring a mentor to propel your life forward. Whatever it is, big investment, small investment, finding a dime, get really present to how money's flowing through your experience and being grateful for it. Okay, so I'm going to do a recap of these most important mindset shifts for abundance. The first one is realizing that money is energy, money is vibration, and you need to be able to match it. It's not something way out there. It's not just something that is in a business or in some physical strategy. It is an energy. It is a vibration. That's what attracts the physical parts to you. Number two, you have to shift your mind. You have to find your core blocks, work with them, learn how to alchemize them, learn how to work with them when they come up. That will be one of the biggest things that will propel you forward, is becoming aware of how you're being held back. If you want help, the money course, of course, check that out. Number three was seeing it as unlimited. So instead of seeing it as limited, see it as unlimited. Money is literally everywhere. That is a fact. New money is being printed or digitized or traded or created in every moment. That is a fact. So starting to see money itself, independent of you, it is unlimited, and it is a flow you can tap into. People make money all the time. People are receiving money all the time. That's just a fact. So start seeing it as unlimited. The next shift you need to make is those physical habits, changing the way you interact with money. becoming more integrous with money, really making a point to pay your bills on time. Or I like to use the hack of overpaying, and literally I'll overpay by like cents. So if my phone bill is like 91.02, sometimes I'll do 100 or something, 95, but you could even do just 92. Pay up, like overpay by just even a little bit, and then you become someone, look, I overpay my bills. That increases and changes your energy. So changing your physical habits with money will really change that dynamic. Being generous. So allowing money to flow and circulate, being generous with your money, being open with your money, allowing it to come in, allowing it to move through when it feels really right for you, and really, keeping it circulating, keeping it flowing. It will allow it to come to you. It will allow the universe to be generous with you. Remembering that the circle you hang with is going to be your money story. So mentally and physically shifting into being around more empowering thought and education and strategies when it comes to money, because it is just an energy. You are totally capable, no matter who you are, no matter who your story or what your story, you're totally capable of manifesting more money. So start hanging in crowds that believe that will teach you that are open to that believe in you, and that will really start to change your vibe. And the last one is gratitude. So being really grateful for all of it that comes and goes. When you buy your $11 Starbucks or green juice, when you find a dime, when you get paid, when you pay a bill, just really becoming present to the comings and goings of money and being grateful for what it's giving you. Okay, love, I hope that helped you with those core mindset shifts for abundance. Again, make sure to grab your money manifestation mini course that is below. I also have a free guide just available, fresh off the press, and it's called Manifestation Mindset Makeover. And it's a free PDF that goes through the 5 most common barriers to manifestation, aka blocks, things like lack, scarcity, control, future tripping, these kind of things that we all deal with. And we really look at dismantling them, insight on what's going down, and your first step to really move in the right direction. I even give you a mantra and journal prompts to work through it. I've got your back. So if you want to grab that free workbook, the link for that is below. Okay, Seeker, I will see you in the next episode. Have a fantastic day. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much for your time and tuning into this episode. I really hope that it served you. And before you go, I'd love to give you a free workbook to help you upgrade your manifestation mindset. In this workbook, we're going to go through the 5 most common unconscious blocks that are holding you back. I'm going to show you how it's showing up in your life, and most importantly, the manifestation mindset shift that you need to unblock yourself. So grab the Manifestation Mindset Makeover free workbook now, and let's get to unblocking.